is a place where I'm just me. Not big or small, but the perfect size to be. I know every ripple in the paint that's on the wall. If it had 1,000 cracks, I wouldn't mind at all. My home, my home, my home, my home. Home is where my love is laid. Home is where my bones are aching. Home is just a name for you and me. Home is where my heart is racing. Home is with the lives we're making. Home is just a name for you and me. My home, my home, my home, my home. Home is where the lights are showing. Home is where the winds are blowing. Home is just a name for you and me. Home is every chance I'm taking. Home is what the news will bring. Home is just a name for you and me. Oh, my home. Home is where my heart is racing. Home is with the lives we're making. Home is just a name for you and me.
Wow, isn't that crazy when the adverts are changing into cinematic style storytelling things, and that's like a 3-minute thing with an epic song, like cinematic visuals, no dialogue, all based around this one tire, and it's a whole story. So 1, 2, or 3, the poll is now live. Is that awesome? Is that okay or not for you? 1 is awesome, 2 is okay, 3 is not for you. What's your feelings on that piece, mate?
I'm pretty much what the chat. I'm the same as the chat. It's a great piece of content here. It's a great story. No words, strong music, easy to understand. If I'm like if I've worked, it felt like a normal ad. And what I mean by that, an ad that I've kind of seen before. But if I was someone who made that ad, let's say 10 years ago, and I'm looking at what AI can do this, I would either be so excited or I'll be worried, because I'm looking at it thinking, oh my God, like how long did this take? How much did it cost? 1/10 of the time and cost. Wow. Like, that's how I look at it. But as a piece of content, fantastic.
And Jimmy's asking if this is a paid real ad with Jeep, and yes, we believe it is. This is not in the spec ad section, so I'm assuming this is a real Jeep ad. Someone said they cried. Someone said sentimental. Someone said, Paul said, producer Paul said the music is doing a lot of the heavy lifting in this piece, and I agree. It really carried the piece through, and the editing to the music and all of that really helped this 3-minute piece not feel like
the music AI or is that your real song?
Again, I don't know. Actually, I would assume it was a real song, but I'm not entirely sure on that. Like,
what do you think? What do you think of it?
I thought it was brilliant. A 1 straight for me. I do know that it was based on a film potentially called Rubber, which is an old sort of film. So that's the only criticism I've seen of it online, is that there is some premise that's somewhat similar to this rolling tire thing. But to me, I hadn't seen this film, and it felt very original, and it felt very unique and very interesting. I loved the music that carried it. And yeah, I love the fact that Jeep commissioned it, truthfully, a 3-minute cinematic piece like this. Now, where it's actually produced and published is the next question, because this isn't really like a TV ad, and it's certainly not like a YouTube pre-roll ad. So where exactly this gets showcased as an advertisement, I don't know, because it's so sort of long and cinematic that you've really got to watch it to really enjoy it. But I personally loved it. Yeah, maybe YouTube. Maybe
the reason why I say that is because if you think about that Nike ads and the Adidas ads we were playing before, they're like 5-6 minutes long. So
people are saying it sounds like Suno, by the way. So yes, I think maybe it was a Suno generated song, which again, this is massive credits if they wrote that song as well, because there was no extra credits in the video as to the song creator. So you then assume that the video creator had generated the song as well and all the visuals, which directly working with Jeep with one person to make this 3-minute cinematic ad is a really, really big thing, because usually a team would be behind this, an agency.
Yeah, and someone said that they put the song into Shazam and it didn't come up in Shazam, so it might be.
There you go. Let's assume that it entirely was AI generated. Then it wouldn't surprise me, but we'd never want to assume that, obviously, just because it might not be right, and we might be giving a real band like no credit. But yeah, I guess that this was a Suno beat. Amazing. Well, what a way to kick off the show, eh? Straight ones, except for one person who thought it was okay, but yeah. A nice ads to kick off. Now we're going to go straight into the spec ad section, and we know these are spec ads because one of them was actually part of a competition for Express VPN, and this one actually placed in first place. So very congratulations to this person, because apparently there were 20,000 entries to this Express VPN advert competition, which is pretty insane. And don't quite know how they're watching all of those, but still. This person, by the way, is actually part of the Gen HQ community from Rock, who told us that they clean swept it, mate. They got first, second, and third place. We're not going to get time to watch all of them this week, but we're going to watch the first place winner straight away. So this one is by Law Alive Studios, and we know it was made with GPT-2, Nano Banana Pro, Seedance 2, and Kling 3.0. And it placed first, so let's watch it.
You may be wondering why I travel with a bodyguard for the internet. One sec, Sensei. Everywhere I log in, someone's reaching for my stuff. So I got top-tier encryption from ExpressVPN.
Dripcoin to the moon!
A tap a day keeps the crypto bro away. Ever since I signed up, no hacker, no scammer,
Sir, wait, come back.
or advertiser can even get near me. ExpressVPN, nobody gets in.
A tap a day keeps the crypto bro away. Little lines like that. Yeah, I guess the premise of this was to make it very short and snappy, and it be about ExpressVPN and everything like that. So vote 1, 2, or 3. The poll is now open. What did you think to that as a spec ad? Was it awesome? Was it okay? Was it not for you? Yeah, pretty funny. What did you think?
I thought it was good. I liked the concept. I thought it was funny, made me laugh. I'm sure last week we played another one, ExpressVPN.
Yes, we played one by the ExpressVPN director himself, actually, who was doing. Yes,
I think I preferred his one than this one.
Right.
Yeah, but it was a good one. I like it. I thought it was like a good concept. I like the fact that it's got the bodyguard there and like obviously the robot bodyguard there. Little things like if you go back to that boat where he threw him off the boat, everyone who was sunbathing kind of looked up and like for me, I like looking at the things that going on in the background. But but 20,000 people that
I know it was crazy because I guess it was such a short entry requirement, when it's like a big brand as well that's behind it. It's not an AI company, or it was in conjunction with Artlist and other people, I think. But still, ExpressVPN is a huge extra company. We actually talked about this, right? We said when are the big companies going to start getting into this? This is the early start of this. 20,000 entries to an ExpressVPN ad competition. It's pretty mad.
There's a lot of people still. That shows that 20,000 people are doing it. Well, obviously there's a lot more, but if there's 20,000 people that's entering, unless it's like a lot of people doing like multiple entries, this space is just gonna get more and more people doing it.
We got to think we're global, aren't we? And ExpressVPN is a global brand, and many other countries actually use VPNs a lot more than like Western countries. So they'll have had like entries from all over the world, you know, no doubt. And hard to know exactly how they're going to look at all of these as and when they go up and up and up in the future. You know, Seedance 2.5, sorry, it's going to let us literally generate a 30-second ad straight out the gate with multiple shots. So it's like you can do one generation and enter it to a competition. That's the imagine that friction point barrier to entry. You're going to get hundreds of thousands of entries. It's going to be kind of wild, and we're going to need some sort of way of, you know, quality controlling.
Yeah, I was about to say, going to have to be some quality control, because the word AI slop's going to be thrown around a lot.
I know. Well, let's get into the next piece. This one is called Secondhand. It's a Samsung Galaxy S9 ad by Simon Meyer, your favorite. I wanted to sell my old Samsung Galaxy S9, so I built a commercial for it. Let's check it out.
A good smartphone is like a fine wine. It gets better with age. And this smartphone is really old. It has a massive 5-inch display with a few cracks in it, but the touch function still works. Sometimes. The battery is dead, but with the power cable connected, you can keep watching adorable cat videos for hours.
I can't really remember the pin, but I'm sure that's not a big deal. So buy my old Samsung Galaxy S9.
Seriously, I need the money.
Could you imagine coming across an eBay listing and this was the video to buy the cracked old Samsung S9 video that was listed on the eBay account?
People will buy it. People will buy it.
Take my money, says Mary.
Yeah.
What did you think to that piece? The voting is now open. The poll, what did you think? Obviously, it was a spoof thing for his old phone, and it was just a hilarious premise for a silly video. But how epic did it look? You know, a great showcase of what you could actually do with a real phone company, you know, with a real up-to-date smartphone. It's a very clever way to advertise your skills. And he says he needs the money at the end. Simon, I think we've seen you win at least 6 AI competitions with hundreds of thousands of dollars. I'm not quite sure you need the money for your old smartphone, to be honest with you. But a hilarious video. I give that a 1. I really liked it. We've got a behind the scenes to watch for that one as well, straight back to back. Nice. So yeah, quick. Anything comment wise on that before we like watch the behind the scenes? Just funny, right?
A good concept. You know, I can see more and more people doing this. Like, I'm on listings like every day, and things like that, stuff like that. If they can make it stand out in an interesting way, I think you're going to get a lot of people buying it. So
it's just a funny showcase of your skills. Like Billy AI, you know, he does his like funny things to showcase what he can make for brands. And it's Simon's, he's the funniest German in the AI thing, I think, to be honest with you. He's pretty hilarious. Anyway, let's watch the behind the scenes.
Here's how you can create a cinematic high-end ad for literally anything, even for my old broken Samsung Galaxy S9.
A good smartphone is like a fine wine. It gets better with age.
Many people use AI like a slot machine, so they write one sentence in a prompt field and then they click on generate and they hope that something good happens. But that's not how creative control works. If you want to make something specific with AI, you need to define some rules. You need to give the AI a word to work with. So you need to define like the camera language, the visual aesthetic, the locations and the characters. And also you can tell the AI what to avoid. And that's why NVIDIA's Agent 1 is so powerful. You should think of Agent 1 as an additional crew member of your team. So the first step is not AI, the first step is shooting the phone. I placed the phone in front of a white wall and used the window as my main light. Nothing fancy. Alright, so let's deploy the first agent. You are my assistant director. So now I want to give Agent 1 the visual style references. And I'm gonna call it production designer. While the production design agent is thinking, I'm gonna deploy another agent. My voiceover agent can work in this page. I go back to my production design agent. So I iterated a lot, but in the end I got these images here and I'm really happy with these start frames. For the last step, I want to create the videos. You are my digital DP And then I got my very long multi-shot prompt here, and this looks absolutely spectacular. This shot is not so great. All in all, it did a pretty good job. And then I added everything together, add some motion graphics, and then I have the final film.
We're in the era of agentic video, mate. That's what's truly happening. A lot of people have got these agents now. This is the in-video agent that he's using here. Interesting, huh?
Yeah, I actually was thinking when I was watching before he went to the behind the scenes, I was thinking, I wonder if he's using this like a agent to do this.
Yep.
And yeah, when he said the behind the scenes, so he said in video, I was like, okay, cool, makes sense. Yeah, it's you know, that could be the future. It could be what Glenn was talking about last week about the vibe directing. Again, that's another way things could go.
We've got Glenn's open art director vibe thing to show this week. So very good suggestion there. Yeah. We posted this as well earlier. In fact, actually, mate, that's the next one. You've literally set me up as a segue for the next video. But let's talk about this one. I really like the behind the scenes idea of doing this and explaining how it's done with an agent like this, because it shows how like prompting is not, you know, remember like a year ago, everyone said prompt engineering is going to be the #1 skill. No, it's the idea that was always the valuable part, because agents now will write your prompts, enact your certain things, and you just set them on their certain tasks. Like he's setting up a voice agent, a video agent, and a different agent, and then coming back and collecting all of it. But the idea was his, and the output and the edit is his. And that's the agent's task to take care of the middle part, right? It's like interesting. And get the first and last frames. And yeah, look at the prompt. He's not written a word of this. Look how long the prompt is on the right-hand box there. That's all written by the agent based on the cameras and the logic. And, you know, he does a lot of pre-setup, which is what I'm seeing is a common thing amongst all of the best directors is you teach them the laws and the logic and the camera setups and all of that in advance to you ever writing a prompt to them. You know, this is sort of your setup file, basically. Think of it like your setup logic in your file that you always refer to. In Claude, it's called like a .md file. In ChatGPT, it's like, you know, your basic settings and stuff like this. So,
ChatGPT does those MD markdown files as well.
Oh, yeah, they've all got the equivalent now, don't they? Basically, you're building a brain over time and you're teaching it the logic and it's learning from you and it's advancing itself. It's a new era, truly. Fable 5 truly feels something different, truthfully. Like I've been using it like a lot the last few days, and Marco's been telling me this is so much more advanced than Opus. And like you said, it is a token burner, but man, oh man, it just, you know, I'll tell you a crazy scenario. When we were downloading videos for this week's live stream, I gave it a whole bunch of links and it went to GitHub, downloaded the tools it needed and downloaded them from the various places.
Really? Wow.
It did extra steps that I've never seen any AI even attempt. And I was like,
how many are you on the top Claude plan?
Yes, we're on one of the top Claude plans, so it's not as much. But yeah, like I'm using the code version as well, which is the most efficient way to do it. Not co-work and not chat. I'm using Claude Code for the efficiency in folders on my desktop and stuff like that. But yeah, crazy, huh? It's actually mad how much more capable it is. And these agents do feel like, remember a year ago, everyone was talking about agents and hyping them up. Now they feel real. They actually finally feel real now. But only now. Only now are they starting to feel real, you know?
Yeah, definitely.